Well, it's a very warm welcome to Rabat, the day of destiny for both Senegal and Tunisia. Tanzania playing in the Moulay El Hassan Stadium, and a huge honour for both. Senegal won their first under-17 crown just 3 years ago in 2023. They may have fallen at the quarter-final stage here in Morocco 12 months ago, but they're back. They hope with a vengeance, but they face Tanzania, who have been a breath of fresh air and have reached the first final of the country's history. From seniors down to under-17, no East African nation has ever lifted the under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. Morocco 2026 comes to a finale tonight, and we can expect plenty of drama. Given what's gone before, we can likely expect penalties, given that both these sides needed spot kicks, both their quarter-finals and semi-final ties. Senegal coming through after a 1-0 draw and 4-2 on penalties against Mali, while Tanzania played out a thrilling 3-0 draw with Algeria's under-17s. They won 4-3 from the penalty spot. And into the semi-finals they face the North African giants, one-time winners in Egypt and the host Morocco, but both came through again from 12 yards out. This is what they're playing for. And there surely will be plenty of nerves for the young boys lining up for both teams, but they've played like men under pressure at this tournament. And only one can go home with the title. Senegal enjoying their best period in the country's history from senior level down. And it all started with that 2023 title in their hands. This time trying to lead them to glory, their goalkeeper Hassan Sarr, who was the hero given the spot kicks he's had to face. But Tanzania, they've never had this opportunity before. What a way to finish, given they've been one of the most exhilarating teams in the tournament. They have lost one game, but it was in what was a dead rubber for them in their third group stage match, having won their opening two ties. Senegal, in contrast, lost their opener against South Africa, but have come roaring back to storm their way to this final. Well, Egypt took bronze position over Morocco in the third place playoff after both sides lost out to these teams. And so, as the CAF theme music plays out, it's Senegal. What's been a wonderful tournament, one that has shown African youth football at its very best. Still, the finale to enjoy. But before the action, the national anthems of Senegal and Tanzania. Dr. Patrice Motsepe, the other dignitaries looking on. The focus is on those on the field, preparing to get underway. Well, for Senegal, just 2 changes to the side that came through semi-final penalties. That's seen dropping out of the squad. Number 22, Sheikh Dieng. That brings in to the defence Cher Thior alongside Maurice Biet in front of their captain Hassan Sarr. Stepping in to the limelight, Sege Fall Baboji on the wing. Their number 9, Ibrahima Dione, dropping to the bench. So Mohamed Aouina of Algeria taking charge. Great honour for the officials as well. They themselves looking to plot their own path to bigger, better things. And of course, for Tanzania, this is their biggest moment in the country's footballing history. They soon will be hosting the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027 alongside Uganda and Kenya. These are the potential history boys, and it is no surprise that the Serengeti boys are going with their strongest 11. Nza Nsangan Zulu, hoping his side don't wilt under the pressure. They certainly have been pretty cool throughout. They said they need to stay calm, stay away from pressure and play our game, and when they have been scintillating to watch. In this magnificent stadium, who will be looking back on years to come. No, they did something special. Senegal looking for their second under-17 AFCON title in just 3 years. Tanzania looking to do what no Tanzanian side has ever done. Both teams have won 2 penalty shootouts to get here. Will we need more to separate them? Or can one of the sides step up inside the regulation time? Underway, the under-17 Africa Cup of Nations final. Senegal, the 2023 champions, taking on Tanzania, tantalizingly close to a first ever title. Not just at under-17 level, at any level. Of course, Senegal have been enjoying, it's been a golden era for their national teams. AFCON glory at each level. Of course, we'll be looking forward to the Senior World Cup starting in just over a week's time. Tanzania, this is a situation they've never had. Tanzanian national side at any level has ever reached an AFCON final. They'll want to keep the door shut at the other end. Good readjustment for Aji Abdallah. Sure, there's nothing catching him out at his near post. Certainly the best goalkeeper at the Sekafa qualifying. He's brought that into this tournament as Tanzania now have their first chance to try and threaten. Strong defending from Lamin Mbenge. Then given away cheaply. Passment and movement. So good from Tanzania. In a goal. Just sneaks past the far post. A warning sign for Lamin Sani's side. Well, he got his strike away. Saddam Amis couldn't hit the target. Well, one of two 14-year-olds in the side run by Elian Neza Sanganzelu, along with tournament top scorer so far Dimas Atanasi wearing number 15. One ahead of teammate Lukman Mbala Jalendi. And of Senegal's Faye, Suleiman Faye, number 10, looking to create behind Cher Omar Sy up top. Got the nod ahead of Dion. Happy to just play their style, Tanzania. And even in their opening matches, which they won, whether they were already in total control, they just kept plugging away, playing the same patterns. That's great to see, as well as great recompense for the work by Sanganzelu and his coaching staff. Saw Lamin Sani on the sidelines for Senegal. Yeah, team's delicate, but the head coach, Seydina Issa Aidara, one pulling the strings. He certainly said every match comes down to small details. Set pieces are one of them. Bodies are tired, playing in a final provides such motivation. They'll forget about it. A little nutmeg worked out. Wonderful ball spread wide. Bit of a heavy touch. Just unable to readjust. So there is Seydina Aidara. Did say play for fun, not pressure. Easier said than done. Only 3 goals conceded by Haji Abdallah. Have been a well-oiled machine. Senegal also only conceding 3 times. Further 2 goals conceded by Tanzania when Dalla was given the night off. His replacement, Rahman Soro, got his chance. Haji Abdallah, majority of the team built up of development squad. Tanzania, plenty of scouts are keeping eyes on their players, and no wonder as they try and pick their way through. And they do it with quality and an end product. Are Tanzania on their way to making history? Amis Miambo gets them off to a flyer. Senegal shocked. Tanzania terrifying. The young Lions of Teranga, as they have the rest of the tournament. Superbly played into feet. But what great composure. Lukman Imbala Sari just cushioned the ball. And Miambo just tucked it past a stranded Hassan Sarr. The keeper given no chance. Tanzania into an early lead. Well, what a time to score your first goal of the tournament. And Senegal have work to do, although they do have time in which to do it. Certainly an early wake-up call, if they indeed needed one. Cleared by Razaki Nejelendi. Senegal just look to try and settle in as Tiano So. Brilliant ball into midfield. It's a lovely 1-2. Maybe not the best end product. Taking on the shot. Suleiman Commissioner Faye. Taken away a bit cheaply by Abdallah. Tanzania win it back in Senegal's half. Just wonderful to see at such young age group. Lukman Imbalasalu would have been very easy for the Kagera Sugar forward to have a swing at that himself or take it off the on-rushing Amis Miambo. Instead he left it to the midfielder to stride through, tuck it away. Well, double danger for Senegal, 1-0 down. They certainly don't want Hassan Sarr to have to go off. Penalty hero against Morocco. Certainly things to ponder. Well, he was part of the 2025 squad that failed to defend their title. Now the main man, maybe not for much longer. Certainly the concern for Senegal, the fact they've got their substitute goalkeeper Daouda Ba of Génération Foot, who hasn't played a single minute. I hope it's nothing major to worry about. Tanzania just look like they cannot be fazed. Winning the ball and so quickly getting to the edge of Senegal's box. Here's the goal scorer. And now a one flashed wide. Certainly got hold of it, Idrissa Kilendembo. Nowhere near the target from the fullback. Kilendembo was one of those who've returned from the 2025 edition. One of the great changes to really help the growth of youth football. Now the Under-17 World Cup is annual, so therefore the competitions play for its qualification. And Tanzania had already, by winning their group, earned a debut at year's end at the World Cup. Senegal will be taking part in their fourth. Mozambique, like Tanzania, the other debutants of those heading to the tournament in Qatar. Tanzania really have settled so well here in Rabat. Senegal won't panic. They did trail from an early goal the final 3 years ago, held in the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Algiers. Abdelhamid Ait Boudlao, now of Rennes, netted an early one for the young Atlas Lions. Fallou Diouf from the penalty spot. An 83rd minute winner from Mamadou Savan saw them earn their first title in this competition. Quite amazing, given that Tanzania never actually qualified out of an under-17 AFCON group stage before. Yet here they are now, as things stand, heading for the title. Before this edition, they'd only ever won one game as well. That was back in their first appearance in 2017. 4 points in that group stage in Gabon. Then 6 straight defeats between 2019 and last year's editions. Senegal won't be giving up a chance to win a second title without a fight. At the moment, they're struggling to find any rhythm. They're keeping the belief. Certainly, fans making plenty of noise. Now a chance to try double their advantage. The patience shown. Knock it around confidently. Now spread by their captain Kassim Aimbo. Possibly not trying to look ahead to maybe getting his hands on the ultimate prize. Mental side of the game will play such a huge aspect of this final. Still very early doors, but once the reality becomes that little bit closer, see far more nerves than we've seen thus far, particularly from Tanzania. As it is, a very proficient, confident start. Certainly see how incredibly well the development squad is working. Only 3 of the starting 11 with clubs. You can see the connection between the players playing out brilliantly. superbly worked back to win it. Senegal struggling to keep tabs. Demo. They'll play a forward pass if it's the right one, but otherwise they won't panic, Tanzania. If that forward pass does drift astray to Asansar, who does seem to have recovered after going down not long after concession from a fine strike from Amis Niambo. Balasalu setting it up, and he tucked it away. A terrific occasion played out in this wonderful stadium. It was the first match for Morocco. And the semi-finals and finals, so both have had the opportunity to play out in this arena. The rest of the tournament having taken place at the Mohammed VI Football Academy, very famed for its production line of talent. We've certainly seen that from Morocco for the recent years. Now a chance for Tanzania to make Senegal sweat some more. Comfortable on the ball, and then swung into the box. Comes back to Demo. That one's loose on the spin. Malasalu. One back. One a bit loose in between targets. Bit of possession. Given away thanks to excellent anticipation. Senegal now under pressure to set the tone. Senegal had been unbeaten the 2025 group stage without conceding from open play, but then lost on penalties in the quarter-final to Côte d'Ivoire. 8 from that squad returning. Looking to try and make amends. Brilliant challenge. These players stays down on the deck, not getting much in the way of sympathy from Maimbo. Salu felt he was held up. Strapping on the knee. The referee does seem happy to let some of the physical challenges play out. Doesn't look to stop the play too often in this opening 20 minutes. Long-reaching challenge from Hussein Mbegu. Just when Cher Omar Sy felt he was getting up ahead of steam. Well, he could be producing quite the achievement. Sangan Zelu set up his Serengeti boys and their fans. What could be an unforgettable night in Rabat. Never out of the group stages in their previous appearances. Now the Sekafa champions looking to add Under-17 AFCON crown. Well, East Africa is football mad, but long overshadowed both by the region's global dominance in distance running. Also, not quite the same power as we've seen from West and North Africa. They do have wonderful domestic footballing culture with Young Africans and Simba, fan-owned clubs. One of Africa's fiercest rivalries, the Kariakou Derby. Senegal desperate to just find a bit of rhythm and poise as they look to find their route back into this match. Positive, as they haven't really started. They do only trail by the solitary goal. Tanzania now are the ones wanting a free kick, but it's swung in, looped him. The header almost catching Abdallah out. The Tanzanian goal readjusting brilliantly to keep the score blank. Tanzania felt this was a foul. This is where the danger lay. Fabulous header, just trying to loop it in. Strong hand from Naji Abdallah. A little bit of a disagreement at the back. Begu certainly giving as good as Naji Abdallah gave. Referee just making sure. Not too much wrestling, little corner kick routine that the young Lions of Teranga are trying to utilise. Swung into the middle, ball still alive, and it's a swing and a slice. Tanzania putting bodies on the line, but when the ball finally was struck through, no wonder he's fuming. Sega Fall Mboji with the final effort, well under the ball. High over the bar. Limited chances in this first 25 minutes. Tanzania have got themselves a precious opener. As we've seen, not just looking to sit back, still looking to plug away and try work their way through. Senegal will be happier. At least started to make an imprint. As mentioned, Tanzania, along with Uganda and Kenya, co-hosting the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, the first East African host. Senior AFCON since Ethiopia in 1976. There's only ever been two senior AFCON winners that have ever come from East Africa. Ethiopia in 1962, Sudan in 1970. Both of home soil, never at youth level. Cooling break, and the coaches getting their chance to have their say. Both as animated as the other. Tanzania, they may have the lead, but they know it is such a slender one. This is where it came from. Little pass, picking out Lukman Mbalasalu, and intelligence to leave it to Amis Niambo. Initial pass from Dilmas Atanasi, who's made such a big name for himself. But it's the team element that's driven Tanzania here. Senegal just searching for the form that they found, having recovered from an opening day defeat to South Africa, who, having beaten the Young Lions of Teranga, went on to lose their other two matches and crash out. In the end, Senegal defeating Algeria and Ghana to top Group D. Fabulous achievement given the start, and then beating two-time former champions Mali on penalties for knocking out the hosts and defending champions Morocco. They're struggling to get a grip with Tanzania here. Touch for the captain. Imbo finds Kilendemo. Lovely 1-2, but he's just caught up the fullback, and now he's out of position. Can Senegal take advantage? Wonderful footwork. Easy decision for the referee. Niambo just gets a little extra warning there, the goal scorer. I think he'll be too unhappy with this, given that Sega Boji could have had acres of space to run into. Driving run from left back Mbenge, but now he, like Kilendemo before, has left a gap, but Tanzania are getting in behind. The striking goal, vital block to deny Tanzania a second. Mbalasalu looked in, but Lukman denied. Lovely ball. It's again Atanasi pulling the strings. Great movement as ever from Serengeti boys, number 10. They're stacking up at the back post. Niambo, Tanasi, as well as Mbegu. Ends up in the grateful gloves of Hassan Sarr. Wants to get on with things quickly. Well, a high fit there and a booking as well. Poor decision making. Boji, see, clear that that was going to be a high boot. Did it anyway. He's paid a price. So Tanzania leading on the half-hour mark here in Rabat as they look for a first ever under-17 AFCON crown, having never previously escaped the group stages. Senegal did come from one behind in 2023 to lift their maiden trophy at this age group. Period of unprecedented Senegalese success. The first senior AFCON coming with under 17 and under 20 glory, as well as even beach AFCON delights. Here they are looking to fight back, but Tanzania just have the bit between their teeth at the moment. These sides have never met before. Certainly going to be a bit of adjustment. It's Tanzania who have settled the better. Sadina Issa Aidara, Senegalese coach, did say set pieces could be vital, an area people neglect, mentioning that they've focused on that aspect. You can see their better opportunity come in the breakdown from a corner kick, although it was smashed over the top from Mboji. Here is Suleiman Faye. Can he create with that left boot? Numbers up, but the looping ball, well, it wasn't a good delivery. It almost turned into something special. Looping cross, a little too close for comfort. Haji Abdallah happy to see it wide. He was trying for it. Not a terrible effort. Certainly a waste. Well, maybe might have left that. Wasn't really meant for him. Boji cuts inside, puts it forward, but Della has that all day long. Senegal themselves didn't get out of the group stages in their first two AFCON appearances. The first time they did go on to lift the title. Exactly what Tanzania are trying to do tonight. It is just an indication of how much stronger underage groups are becoming across the continent. This is the second successive tournament with the expanded 16-team model. Senegal, whoever did qualify for their first Under-17 World Cup in 2019, 23 and 25, they've always got out of the group stages there. Tanzania will have their first experience at Qatar 2026. So at the Mohammed VI Football Academy, pitch 8. Egypt beating rivals Morocco to the bronze medal. Zayed after 32 minutes. And Bashir 12 minutes after the 90 were up for a 2-0 victory. Egypt had looked the form side after their 4-1 thrashing of Côte d'Ivoire in the quarterfinals, but Tanzania kept them out before scoring 4 penalties after missing their first to knock them out. Noor and Mohammed missing the crucial penalties saw the Serengeti boys win 4-3. Well, Senegal led Morocco until the 100th minute. Wanye got a first half goal. Eloud then netted a dramatic late penalty, to say the least. That set up penalties ultimately. Like Tanzania, Senegal missed their first through Dieng. But it would end in further drama. 10 penalty kicks each. The Young Lions of Teranga coming through 7-6 here at the Moulay El Hassan Stadium. It's a stadium that was rebuilt as part of Morocco's preparations for the 2025 AFCON and the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, of which the country is also playing hosts, as Qatar are with the Under-17 Men's World Cup for the next 4 years after the first time round. It's ultimately where Algeria knocked out DR Congo in the round of 16 at the start of the year after extra time. And also a scene for much happier times for DR Congo. They would come back, having beating Cameroon and then knocked Nigeria out of World Cup qualifying. Eventually qualified through. Congo taking on Portugal, Uzbekistan and Colombia. Senegal themselves have a very interesting date with France on 16th of June. Anyone remembering 2002 certainly see that as a historic encounter. Norway and Iraq to come. Tanzania, of course, never been to the big party, but certainly feel that maybe they've got a special generation at hand, especially when you look at top scorer Atanasi, as well as Saddam Amis, both just 14 already making a name for themselves. Atanasi with the pass to Mbalasalu before he laid it off for Miambo. And the ball through to the number 10. Saw his shot knocked over the bar. Number 15, 3 goals to top scorer in the tournament. Haven't seen him as a goal-scoring threat yet. Certainly productive. Senegal look for something themselves to crow about. Excellent play down the left, looking to shape to cross, swung by Wanya. It's brilliantly taken. Haji Abdallah anticipating the situation, looking to get in behind early, but easily dealt with at the back. Very comfortable play on the ball. Helps Tanzania move up the pitch as a team. You can see in the midfield, Haji Sao just trying to wave the players forward. In fact, it's Emil Sadio. Just wanted a little bit more cohesion from the men in white. Long searching ball. Sao just able to let it drop over his head and then hook it over his shoulder. Couple of bounces, but then a nice touch from Sao. Alaji. And now looking to get it behind. Just wanted to lift it with Haji Abdallah coming towards him. Too much on it. Mohamed Wanya certainly getting a chance to stretch his legs. Was man of the match in the semi-final against Morocco. Just a challenging little flick to try and get it up and over Haji Abdallah. Little touch from the goalkeeper, although it didn't look to be going on target. pondering on the sidelines. A bit of concern. Touch not noticed. Tanzania, the goal kick. That's brilliantly kept in. It looked favoured to be a Senegalese ball, and yet somehow Tanzania have smuggled it down this right flank and can cross the ball in. Did favour Senegalese defender. And now Wanye taken out. There will be a yellow card, you might think, unless the referee decides to be more lenient. He's chosen the latter route. Toussaint Mbegu's grateful. Cheikh Oumar Sy getting them on their feet. Fairness, good decision for the referee. Is certainly a sore one for the striker. It wasn't quite as bad a challenge as it might have looked from afar. Launched long. Those Senegalese heads really battling for it, but that's broken kindly. Boji showing some great footwork and skill. Gets dispossessed all the same. Well recovered. Wants the ball back. Not happening for Lamine Mbengue. He's for the moment giving up his left back role to stride on centrally. Inside the final minute of regulation, first half time. Lovely play from Iboji. Forced back all the same to Sao. That will do for Tanzania. That was too easily read, and Boji caught on his toes. Well, they're enjoying it. The smiles tell you that from the players. The coach maybe less so. He'll know there's still an awful long way to go before they can celebrate what would be an incredible moment in Tanzanian history. Strong challenge from Kilendemo. Certainly won the ball, but there was contact. Though I don't think enough to put Mboji's continued presence under threat. Can Senegal find something? 3 minutes added on. The end of the first half. Long, deep cross. The flick on. Couldn't get enough on it to direct it goalwards. Mboji. Certainly looked the most likely to make something happen. The Generation Foot winger. Rare loose pass. Senegal Just over a minute to try and find parity. They're going to launch this long and hope for the best. But Tanzania win the first header. And then it's a very ambitious effort from long, and Tanzania could be in. It's a 2-on-1. Lukman Imbalasalu takes his time, but he never released the ball when it might have put them 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Huge let-off for Senegal. Faye with the foul against Idrissa Kirandemo. Want to see that counter back. What an opportunity missed. Launch ball in. Now Senegal's chance to go on the break. Super pace and power, but really well held up to allow numbers back. And that's the end of a first half. Or is it? Well, the referee now has indicated the half is over. Well, Tanzania in their first ever final AFCON of any age. Their players look to have come of age as they struck early to lead this by a 1-0. Lukman Imbalasalu was found by Dimis Atanasi, and on running, Amis Miambo took over and tucked it away comfortably. Senegal have struggled to create chances. They'll just be happy they're only trailing by 1. At the halftime whistle, Tanzania 1, Senegal 0 here in Rabat. welcome back ahead of the second half. It's been one that's caught the eye in terms of determination. Some of the flowing football from Tanzania. Senegal have struggled. And overall, despite having more shots, twice as many on target, overall there's only been 3 hitting the target. And the only one for Tanzania struck the back of the net to leave these fans disappointed, these fans dreaming. Well, both under 0.5 for expected goals. Tanzania getting that early opener while not sitting back. They haven't had necessity to throw any caution to the wind. We'll see if there's much of a change in the second half. At the moment, Tanzania, through Miambo's goal on 7 minutes, are on course for a massively historic moment for Tanzanian football. So Tanzania get us back underway. Serengeti boys leading by 1-0. Lianeza Ganzelu, the coach, having led them on this merry journey. Said before the tournament their first dream was to qualify for the World Cup. Well, they wrapped that up after just 2 match days, having got 6 points from their opening 6 available. They've trusted the process. It's got them on the cusp. Said after the match with Algeria, every player was crying because of the weight of the achievement, but the fact they deserved it. 3-3 stunner. Penalties winning the way as it did in the semi-finals, and they have been training spot kicks every day after the group stage. They'll hope they won't have to go back to 12 yards. Sedina Issa Aidara for Senegal, looking for much better from his side. They recovered from losing their opening game. They get the first meaningful shot of the second half. Their main man, the commissioner, Suleiman Faye, striking through. Haji Abdallah, though, comfortably behind it. Dara, the Senegalese coach, appointed just weeks before the tournament, and his first competitive assignment as head coach. I wonder against South Africa, it wasn't quite cooking. Now he's looking for his young Lions of Teranga to rediscover their roar that's brought them to this stage. Tanzania might have wanted to play on. Referee electing to bring it back for a foul. Sat Kilendemo bundled over, not for the first time from the rampaging fullback. Hassan Sarr beaten once already. They could do little about it. To organise things, the Senegalese captain. No danger. Side pick up the loose ball. Bengue, lovely play, and there's now a little bit of space that's opened up. Alaji Sow works it on, clipped it behind. That is a wonderful ball. If the touch had been better, they might have been in. They may still have an opportunity. It could have been oh so much more, though, for Segafol in Boji. Instead, it's just a corner. Short one as the cavalry is arriving late. Deflection. Has he managed to keep it in, Haji Abdallah? Official says yes. best ball's out, but it's eventually ended up in its target, and now running behind. Never quite reached. But now a lovely reverse ball. A really exhilarating start to the second half with both sides fully committed. Not dropping the energy levels. Just getting caught between a dribble and a pass, but it's one back. Dummy shot, and a couple of thoughts on it. End-to-end stuff in the opening minutes of the second half in Rabat. Give himself an awful lot to do. Boji will be happy with the overall outcome, but it could have been so much better moments before. CRC went on that charge. Lovely protecting the ball. Does give it away, but he's certainly been impeded. Saddam Amis, one of two 14-year-olds in the Tanzanian side. Huge expectations on his and Atanasi's shoulders. Really going hard, both sides, into 50-50 challenges. Another run from out to in from Moji. Really good pass to find Mbenge. He's fouled. Look how quickly he's up wanting the ball back. No wonder. Still plenty of time, but they don't want to be trailing any longer than they have to. Chole hands up, but penalised. He was a man of the match in Tanzania's 3-0 win. The opening match day against Mozambique, when they really gave a sign of what they were all about. Even as the tournament got harder, both these teams continue to improve. Two down the line. Zed cuts in. Hands up on the side is Amis. Tanzania continue to try their work down the left. Breaks for Senegal. Their fans certainly like that as it's spread out to Mbenge. Oh, superb skill and step overs, and keeps his run going. It misses him out, but Senegal still keep coming. Twisting and turning. Boji now gets support from his fullback. Zeno Sao, header down, just wide of the target, but oh so much better from Senegal. And it's Mbenge who started the move. We look to try and finish it. Fullbacks combining. Tough one. Mbenge to try and hit the target under pressure. Lie off and a lovely little touch. Returns to sender. Clips it to where no one is. Lovely touch round the corner. Nice space and time for TotalEnergies Sao. Can't find the right ball out, but he's got it back to only head it in off head of Kilendemo. Great energy about the match, but Neither side has really been able to find a route to goal. Tanzania, of course, have a lead to protect. Sliding and brilliantly keeping it in. The tenacity and ability. Sega and Boji has certainly shown both in spades. Sega, Boji as well have had a console controller there, tapping the buttons to leave bamboozled Kilindemo. I thought he was well favourite, either to just see a throw or win the ball. He did neither. Now set pieces. Senegal's coach wanted to make a real weapon tonight. Dara will hope for a better delivery. Not much better. Senegal have recovered it. Dug out. Biayi couldn't find a fellow white shirt. They will have a throw. The centre back is told to leave it. Has scored. Biayi. A constant presence across Senegal youth setups. You can hear cries from the sidelines. Calm down. You can imagine it's from Sang Ganzelu. Pensive on the Senegalese bench. Quick throw, but it's well read. Issa Chole able to read the danger. Bengue back to Shea Tior. Emil Sadio launches into the area. Tanzania able to pick the ball, take it for a run. Senegal have now clocked up 12 shots. So few have actually brought Aji Abdallah into action. Just 3. Tanzania good on the ball, but haven't actually threatened Golvat Ansar either. One shot on target. But it's a precious one that sees them lead this under-17 AFCON final. Long searching ball coming together. Initially to be tidied up. Tior happy to see that go behind for a goal kick. Senegal looking to pick their way through. Try down the left side. Looking to foray down the other. That's given away though, and now Tanzania can flood forward. The Serengeti boys are dreaming of doubling up. The pass was smart. Didn't quite run through, but a pick up here has them in on goal. Just a little too wide though on his weaker side, but what a run from Kelendemo. From left back to the right forward position. Look how he just skipped his way through. Tanasi playing blocker. It was the vital block from Biayi. Once again, Tanzania with a chance to break with numbers in a stretched Senegal defence. Now looking to punish them from the resulting corner. A great take from Assad Sarr. He said his teammates trust him in the build-up to this final, and certainly proving that there. Tanzania, despite their lack of clear-cut chances, just look to have a little bit more poise, a little bit more calm, and here is their 14-year-old wonder boy, Atanasi. Swings it in, but no takers. Tanasi, his football heroes, Eden Azar, the one who's already attracting European club interest. Though both he and his coach, Vincent Ganzelu, said that the future can wait, and at 14 it certainly can. Certainly see a huge future already. At the moment, he's going to finish the tournament as top goal scorer. Unless, for example, Souleymane Faye can do something about that. As it is, Cheikh Oumar Sy has run his race. And on comes instead Ibrahima Dione. Can Dione provide more cutting edge? Did score the winner against Ghana. Got them back on track after defeat to South Africa. That's the hour mark. Still Tanzania 1, Senegal 0. Once again, a bit of a wrestling match going on. It's been a good battle between Kelendemo and Mboji. The only two players actually booked during the match. Kelendemo has to be a bit more careful. Another set piece. Can they do better from this? Near post flick on. Great save, but it's fallen perfectly. And Senegal have their equaliser. Seydina Issa Aidara, the coach, said they could be pivotal, and so it's proven. Haji Abdallah looks stunned. He was left completely exposed. right place at the right time. It's the substitute, Ibrahima Dione. He's been on the pitch for a matter of minutes, and he's already plundered not just his second goal of the tournament, but a vital leveller. A great flick on, a decent save, but then a simple tap in. It's one apiece. Foot up to the body of Tior. How will Tanzania respond to this setback? In fairness, both teams have done brilliantly under adversity. Senegal had to pick themselves off the ground after deep into stoppage time. Morocco got a penalty to level and take it eventually to spot kicks, which Senegal did win through, as they had against Mali. Tanzania, they were behind twice against Algeria before being pegged back in the second half. Even had a goal refused before it went to penalty kicks. They won him. Now Senegal have the bit between their teeth. Mboj thinks about the shot, but he should have been passing it. What a block, though, although it seems to have come at a cost for Kassim Maimbo. The bodies down as the excerpts start to really tell. Tanzania's captain showing the desire necessary to lift this under-17 AFCON trophy. Well, they've not been able to raise their voices, but now they can. It is set up for a wonderful finale, with the score now level. Looking to make a change themselves. Prepared to come on, Hassan Kazinga. One of those returning from last year's squad who failed to win a game. A different atmosphere it is here. It certainly is a different atmosphere inside the stadium. Moulay El Hassan Stadium in Rabat has come to life. Both these sides ultimately earned the first prize all nations who arrived here wanted, which was a place in the Under-17 World Cup in Qatar at the end of this year. But now they are so close to gold. Neither will want to let the opportunity go. For Senegal, it could be 2 titles in 3 editions. Tanzania looking for a precious first. Long ball, as the young lions of Teranga have certainly found their roar. This will test Tanzania like never before. Look to get him behind. It has reached its eventual target. Spread along the back line from Mbegu, and the captain Maimbo also recovered from that terrific last-ditch block. fired into feet. Amis. Tanzania do recover it. Senegal trying to press with purpose and numbers. Searching ball, he's in acres of space. Oh, there was another chance that Tanzania have missed a couple of times to play the pass to a man in space. Not sure why the IE was complaining. This pretty clear shove, sending Tanasi flying. He's waited a long time, Hassan Kazinga. Is going to get his opportunity. Tanzania swing it in deep. Well dealt with by Sarr. Gets a free kick. Well, Miambo netted after just 7 minutes. Dion scored just 2 minutes after arriving as a substitute. That has a one apiece into the final 20 minutes. Reverse ball doesn't work its way through. Tanzania look to break. Tried to run it down the line, but ran it out of play. So a cooling break. More importantly, big opportunity for the coaches to get their players in what could be a huge chat to try and talk them towards the ultimate prize, the under-17 AFCON title. A big call to take off the current top scorer in the tournament, Temas Atanasi. One taken off the introduction of Hassan Kazinga. Saying Ganzelu maybe feeling 14-year-old was starting to tire. Senegal in the ascendancy, having found a break of the ball. Suleiman Faye with the ball in, flick on from Mboji, who's been the best player for the Lions of Teranga. His intervention eventually tucked away by Dion after the block from Aji Abdallah. They certainly responded with a huge roar. Plenty of drama still left to be written. It's what looks like an example of a foul throw is left to go. Tanzania smuggle it back. Neither side able to hold on to it for very long. Senegal now looking to provide a bit more poise in possession. Senegal have had far more attempts. It's been overall the lack of quality which they've been. Tanzania 6 shots, 1 on target. That's at the back of the net. There's been so much tidy play, but not enough pressure. Hassan Sarr's goal. Haji Abdallah has been the busier of the two, if not always at full stretch. A break, no support. He'll be happy enough to have earned the throw. Bengue just dummies the long throw and goes short. Bochi popped up. Ball swung in. Wanted the return. He popped up on this left flank. Tanzania starting to feel the pressure. Ascendancy certainly with the young Lions of Teranga. Lionceau looking to Emile Sadio's delivery. Oh, it's a bit of a flap. Abdallah gets the required end product, which is out of his box. Haji Abdallah said he models his game on Ronwen Williams, the Mamelodi Sundowns and South African goalkeeper. Studies at Kiere Secondary School. His coach said when he's on the pitch he does his job well. He does crumble under pressure. It's exactly what they need. Those following their Serengeti boys, as Insang Ganzelu looks to create a real stir. Just a bit of concern. Certainly hoping the goal scorer, Anis Miambo, is going to be okay. There are still options off the bench. Zabani there. The books at Grenoble, second tier French football. Who's come on before. Impressed. So one apiece into the final 12 minutes of regulation time. Ahmed Dion scoring minutes after stepping onto the field. Tanzania to try and add to what they've got, but the referee already brought play to a stop for a foul. Oh, it's a hard hit coming in from Tierno Sao. Azaki Begalendi wanted further punishment. The referee is now showing a yellow card, but also Tanzanian player. A bit of admin to do. So Issa Chole has to be booked, and Emile Sadio for confirmation. You hear a cry if he's small. He's trying to look for a mismatch. Change of angle. Delivery swung in. Little flick on was dangerous. Cholet picks up the ball but loses it. And Senegal can break. It's 2-on-2. And Boji wants to take the shot on, but I've seen that from both sides at times. Not looking where the better options are. It's so obvious they want to get their shot away. Therefore, it makes the defender's job so much easier. They're not having to guess. It's not been helpful to him, Boji. Also, the fact that he's injured himself. Looking on pensively. Dina Aidara, as mentioned, only appointed just before this tournament started. It's an unforgettable tournament this could be. I mean, we saw more crazily the AFCON 2023 when Côte d'Ivoire changed their coach after the group stage, went on to lift the entire trophy. Ball swung in to the near post. Sadio will get another opportunity. Ball swung into the near post again. This one's just drifted harmlessly wide. Boji to be okay. Again, certainly showing plenty of enthusiasm to strike for goal, but I think the decision making has been so good. So stepping onto the field, Mohamed Ba. That's the end of the night for Suleiman Commissaire Faye. And the match, the group stage against Algeria, 2 goals against Algeria and Mali. He now heads off. Ba's having to be patient before he can take his place, and he does not look a happy chappy in Boji, because his final is over. Well, he certainly had plenty of drive, Sega and Boji. Not enough end product in the end, but he showed plenty of skill. Barua is also on end of the night for the goal scorer, Amis Iambo. There is finally heading on Ba. Some changes, tweaks. Is it going to bring about ultimate change before we hit the 90 minutes? Tanzania looking to rediscover their poise. Early touch for Barua. Wonderful passing under pressure. Great strength. The Senegalese side well built, but boys of Serengeti have been strong. Using his body well and then laying it off. Back by Bella Salu. First time early ball. Senegalese player down. Referee very quickly calling for a stretcher. He makes it more concerning. Maybe the groin that's gone soon after making a change. You have to be making another one, Aidara. Up and onto the stretcher. I think it's El Hadji Sao. That is really disappointing. Gets a wonderful applause. And a tap by Amin Mbenge. There's Mbenge showing his magic feet. Great poise. So we've also seen plenty in this tournament from Atanasi. We have seen some players we'll expect to see the senior competition in the future. It seems unlikely any of these players will be able to make the 2027 AFCON, particularly for Tanzania on home soil, but always should be dreaming. Really depend how this year of development goes. We're seeing players being given the chance if they're good enough. There seemed to be some confusion. It did seem in Boji. We saw him upset. He's the one to depart rather than Faye. Saw Mehmet Ba come on. No confusion, sadly. But it is the end of El Hadji Sao's match. He's replaced by number 17, Nge Niang. Confident take. Looking for a long ball forward. Just 3 minutes left of the 90. No extra time. So it will be straight to penalties. And it will be the third straight in a row. Meaning they'll have gone through the whole knockout stage, needing spot kicks. Lovely twist and turn. Fullbacks really have impressed, particularly Ndemo and Mbenge. Really filling that modern fullback role. Defensively sound. Also really exciting, driving forward into space. Six of the 9 knockout matches had gone to penalties in this tournament, both in the World Cup playoffs that saw Mozambique and Uganda earn their place at Qatar 2026. And Senegal and Tanzania in their quarterfinals and semi-finals, and it looks like the two sides with the most practice are going to face off from 12 yards. This is a dramatic finale. Two teams without pedigree in this tournament. Tanzania certainly found their way in this one, although they won a penalty. I'm not sure how many are in agreement, as Mbegelendi went down. Senegal getting on with things but can't break their way into the box once again. Kilendemo not only winning the challenge but now bursting forwards. This is something we haven't seen in the whole match. No wonder the coach is going to at least have a little gamble on it. FVS video support allowing 2 challenges for each coach. If they're successful, they would keep their challenge. If not, they'd lose it. But given we're into 5 minutes of stoppage time, penalty kicks after the full-time whistle, if there isn't further score, this seems like a gamble worth taking. So onside, looked like any handball. Seems very unlikely. The block, given the position of the defender at the start, had him in a good position, but it's the referee's decision. Tiano Sau will certainly be sweating. So no penalty. And on review, as it was in real time, seemed the right decision on field. Well, you'd imagine, given their practice and success in the penalty shootouts, maybe have a bit more success than they have hitting the target in regulation time. Just 6 shots recorded on target in the whole match. 6 shots, 1 goal for Tanzania. That might have been enough for the crown. After 17 total efforts, 5 on target. It was the big moment that fell to Ibrahima Dion. After a header from Iboji. That was blocked by Abdallah. The number 9 now down, feeling a little bit uneasy about his shin. Couldn't have dreamed of a better introduction, scoring just 2 minutes after his arrival. Now, are there going to be any late subs with penalties in mind? See them sweating in the heat here in Morocco. Haven't seen any towels on. Certainly no one having to protect them. He's looking for a bit of movement. Here's Hassan Mbegu. Looking for a spicy end, a bit of Cheyenne. A little less cumin. Very nice, but not exactly spicy. There could be a spicy finish here. Changes direction, loops it in, and absolutely no one there to block Hassan Sarr. Tanzania, well, they're letting the ball bounce. That wasn't the best idea. Sudden a bit of stress and strain as match is worn on. Well, looking to be a legend is Ihsan Ganzelu. Could yet still happen. Two goalkeepers who have shone in the spot kicks arena. They look like they're going to be called upon again to be heroes. Well, one big blow, but it does seem like it's the full-time whistle. Lukman Mbalasalu going down, but that was the final act of an arm wrestle of a final here in Morocco 2026. The Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations will be decided by penalty kicks. Ibrahim Dion stepped off the bench to cancel out the opener from Miambo, and it is 3 in a row in the knockout phases for both these nations. Will Senegal claim a second crown in 3 editions, or will Tanzania make history for themselves and East Africa? Well, they've certainly enjoyed their night out in Rabat. Now they're looking for the cherry on top. The officials have dealt with the occasion brilliantly. In fairness, the players haven't made a particularly challenging affair for Mohamed Rafik Aouinia of Algeria or his assistants in Slama, his compatriot Yassine Sadawi of Tunisia, and fourth official Willy Stéphane Nga of Cameroon. We did see just one challenge with football video support. There will be options to use that during the penalty shootout. Also, referees very much able to review. It mainly will be about the goalkeepers being on or off their lines. But Sarr, like his counterpart Abdallah, both heroes in their own rights in the previous shootouts. Sarr himself is very much a hero with decisive saves to knock out the hosts. So Kassim Maimbo stepping up with Hassan Sarr. So Tanzania taking the route of Paris Saint-Germain. Going first doesn't guarantee anything, but it certainly statistically has a marginal edge given. Of course, if you're going second, there's a high chance you're going to be left knowing it's score or bust. Well, for Senegal, it was relatively straightforward against Mali. They scored their first 3 before Mali missed the first. Khan then gave two-time former winners hope. Doumbia and Maiga both missed, allowing Bodji to settle the affair. Although the number 7, having been subbed off, won't be taking part. And then in the semi-final, 7-6. They had trailed initially before leading, but it was topsy-turvy until the end. And in sudden death, Biayi with the clincher as Elaki was denied. For Tanzania, 4 from 4 against Algeria sent them through when Valmy missed. Despite missing their first against Egypt, they turned it around by scoring their last 4. So they've been clutching in 4s. Can he bring them a forward march to take them to the promised land? In truth, if Tanzania were to win this, they might feel like they're settling in Mars or up, flying past Saturn, as it would be really out of this world for them to go from 3 group stage exits to then lift the title. They've only ever won 1 match before this 2026 edition. They lost 6 in a row in their previous 2 appearances, and yet here they are against the 2023 champions, who themselves, before that triumph, they had only qualified twice and gone out in the group stage. Now looking for a second crown in 3 editions. Making it clear what he's expecting. Well, they want to have a blast, but really the pressure is far too great to enjoy it unless you go on to be celebrating. So up first, that's the main man, Suleiman Faye. Can he get Senegal off to a flyer? The keeper gets a touch, but not enough to deny Senegal's number 10. Coolly struck. Frustration for Abdallah, relief for Faye. Well, they've certainly experienced this more than most. Quarterfinals and semi-finals, penalty kicks were needed. It's that time again. Well, he was a hero. He's trying to do so again. Assad Sarr stepping up to the plate. Elik Yusuf. Oh, a strong hand. You could hear it. Picked up by the microphones. But again, the ball's ultimately ended up in the back of the net, to the relief of the goal scorer. Pure tension. Well, Yusuf, that's 2 spot kicks he's now successfully made out of the 3. Now it's Emile Sadio for Senegal's second spot kick. Can he keep Senegal train trucking. Yes, he can. Beautiful spot kick, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Never in doubt. 3 from 3 now from quarterfinals to this final. He was wanting a penalty late on. It was a bit light of a feather in the challenge. And he has got a spot kick opportunity now. Well, he got their first goal of the tournament. But this one with so much more pressure. But he strikes it with aplomb. Gelendi. Means we're all square at 2 apiece. Well, that makes up for missing the first penalty in the semi-final against Egypt. He was the first taker successfully, though, against Algeria. Elected to get Youssef to get them up and running. A little less pressure helping out. But here is the goal scorer that ultimately took us to penalties. Dion scored 2 minutes after coming on as a substitute. Long run up, long night if it continues like this. Plays the conductor to the crowd. Really a wonderful spot kick. Goalkeeper picked the right way. Didn't matter. First time he's been involved in the spot kicks. Showed nerves of steel. Well, he was probably one of those who would be pushing to be a man of the match. Kilendemo did net his spot kick in the semi-final success. Can he rely on that experience against Sarr? Oh, he's got it all wrong. He got so much right, but not that time. Senegal's captain calls for Cam, but it is advantage Senegal. Well, it's only the second penalty Tanzania have missed at this under-17 AFCON, because they didn't need a 5th penalty against Algeria, and they made up for missing their first against Egypt to go through 4-3. Senegal themselves did the 4th spot kick against Mali when they were the cusp of going through. 3 misses against Morocco, but no error here. So calm, so cool. Cher Thior may have opened the door for a second under-17 AFCON crown. And that does mean that this one is pivotal. Tanzania must score, or they will hand the title to Senegal. Emile Sadio with the pressure. And it's been saved! The dream of a first East African champion is over, because Senegal have won it out between the penalty shootout masters. Both needed them through the quarterfinals and semi-finals, but it is Senegal who have edged Tanzania 4-2, and they are once again under-17 African champions. break for a brave and talented Tanzania side. Senegal took time to get up and running, but now they're running around Asamoah Stadium in ecstasy. 2023 was a watershed moment for Senegalese football, and now the captain Hassan Sarr will lift the 2026 Under-17 AFCON crown after a brilliant save, denying Sadio Hussein Mbegu denied. And Senegal now two-time AFCON champions. No wonder they celebrate. It was a hard-fought final. They had the multiple chances, but not always of great quality. But their coach, Seydina Issa Aitara, who only took charge just before the tournament, said set pieces would be vital, and one delivered their equaliser. And it's a 4-2 victory on penalties. Senegal, African champions again. Well, it was looking like it might be another first-time winner. And Senegal have made sure that's not the case.
Merci beaucoup. Et pour ce trophée, c'est quoi ton sentiment? Tout d'abord, je remercie mes coéquipiers. Les coachs, on a fait un bon travail. Et sans que vous voulez, c'est pas facile, mais Dieu merci, hein, il nous a facilité la tâche. On les remercie. Merci beaucoup. C'est quoi ton message pour le public qui sont venus? Merci beaucoup, ils ont fait un grand match. Nous souhaitons dans tous les côtés, dans les bons moments. Et Inch'Allah, rendez-vous à la Coupe du Monde, on va se bien préparer. Merci beaucoup. Merci. Une photo, une photo.
Well, they took the honours. Mohamed Wanya getting the Man of the Match award. In the end, Atanasi ends the top goal scorer, but it'll be of little consolation given the major prize has gone by the wayside. But Tanzania will hope this is the start of a more promising era, and ultimately they couldn't become the third straight first-time winners of the Under-17 AFCON, because Senegal are the 6th nation to win it for a second time. Well, both needed penalties throughout the knockout phase. Senegal knocking out Mali and Morocco through spot kicks. Well, Morocco had beaten Cameroon and then went on to lose to Egypt, who took the bronze medal. Tanzania putting out Algeria and Egypt by penalties, to Egypt had thrashed Cote d'Ivoire. And ultimately it was penalties once again, and Senegal were spotless in their execution. And ultimately Kilendemo and Mbegu were denied by misfiring, the latter by Senegal's captain, choosing the right way, Hassan Sarr, earning the final moment to unleash this joyous occasion. for the Lions of Teranga. The players understandably enjoying their moment. This is one they will hope to experience more and more as they move through their footballing careers. The senior side has been producing. It's the youth sides that's been powering those achievements. There you see it, the trophy they've all been fighting for. 16 sides started the journey here, 2026 edition in Morocco. Soon, the trophy will be brought out. Alexandre Song with the privilege of bringing the trophy out beforehand. Now have the honour of bringing it out for the young Lions of Teranga to lift. Well, certainly should be a big ovation for Tanzania when they go up to get the runner-up medals. They have been a great credit to the tournament and to a style of football that was hugely enjoyable. Senegal recovering from that hard knock against South Africa on match day 1, with Seydina Issa Aitara only appointed weeks before the tournament. He was so concentrated, pensive, worried through the match that now he is rightly in full celebration mode, along with the entire Young Lion of Teranga squad and coaching staff. Well, Egypt here, having earned the bronze medal yesterday in beating Morocco, which would have been mighty relief to them. Something to enjoy, particularly after Morocco won so emphatically the bronze at the Paris Olympic Games just a couple of years ago. Well, a player who brings the trophy out should be an inspiration for the youngsters who want to have half the career the Cameroon international had. 49 caps for his country, representing first in his career Bastia in France before Arsenal, Barcelona, ending his career in Switzerland with Sion, a La Liga champion with the Catalans in 2013. Didn't quite get his hands on the senior AFCON, a runner-up in 2008. He did play himself for the Domino Lions under-17 squad, so he knows what it was like to be where they are now. Dr. Patrice Motsepe leading out the dignitaries. CAF getting bigger, stronger and better, as we've seen from this expanded under-17 tournament. Now an annual celebration of youth football. Loving the hat. Not sure where you can necessarily purchase your own, but it's been an exquisite tournament. And now Senegal prepare for the ultimate enjoyment. Well, Alex Song, who deposited the trophy, lifted the title back in 2003 when it was the African Under-17 Championship held in Swaziland. Now it's the players of today who have their moment to celebrate. Well, always tough to receive awards when you've come second in the one that truly matters. But a great honor for Kassim Naimbo. Player of the tournament, really representing how good Tanzania were throughout the campaign. But he has double delights. It would have been very much between him and Al-Dala, but ultimately the goalkeeper, who shone brightest in the spot kicks, has taken his place as the best goalkeeper in the competition. Ultimate big game goalkeeper. He proved that again. He said, "My teammates trust me," and no wonder. And the top goal scorer, it's another prize, and it goes to the 14-year-old wonder kid, Dimas Atanasi, a name to look out for. Calls Eden Hazard his football idol. European teams already tracking him. Reminder, 14 years old, 3 goals, meaning he takes away the golden boot. Certainly difficult to try and plot the best path at such a young age. About picking the right destination. But he certainly made a huge statement here with his performance. Well, it's a real prize giving for Tanzania. Chole also picking up the award. So the best player of the competition, Issa Chole. Ultimately, East African nation just coming up short. Well, proud moment. Mohamed Rafik Aouina of Algeria, itching to get up and receive his medal, as he and his officials certainly deserve. Ably assisted by his linesman Yassine Ben Slama, his compatriot Yassine Saoudwi of Tunisia, as well as Widi Stefan Nga, the fourth official from Cameroon. Huge roar. Officials were great, but it's probably not for them. Unless there's family and friends nearby. Certainly the Senegalese side itching to get to their trophy. But first up, they had the heartbreak of losing out in the semi-finals, but bounced back to beat Morocco by 2-0 the third place playoff, and that means bronze for Egypt. Still just the one title earned in 1997, but it's their best finish since 2003 when they were fourth. They are starting to re-emerge as a well drilled and talented squad. Their major triumph came in Botswana, beating Mali 1-0 in the final. Just struggled to get back to a final. But now, with it being an annual event, they'll have a chance next year to go again. It's so exciting seeing their victory over Côte d'Ivoire, who themselves shown themselves to be a very useful outfit. The young Pharaohs just blew them away, 3-0 up at half-time. A Mokhtar double with Bashir netting in between. And while Cissé netted from the spot, Saudi rounded off a 4-1 victory. Beaten by Tanzania, spot kicks, but beating Morocco by 2-0. El Said. And then a late clincher from Bashir means Morocco finish third place. Well, a wonderful sign from Senegal, a guard of honor for their beaten finalists. So much respect earned by the Serengeti boys. They just couldn't quite get over the line. What a story. They only qualified for their first under-17 AFCON in 2017, but they did manage to pick up 4 points, but still crashed out of the group stage. In 2019 and last year, they lost all 6 group games they played, and yet they've come here and taken away so many of the individual awards. They just couldn't upgrade silver to gold in a final shootout. Certainly the Tanzanian development squad As shown there, going massively in the right direction. Could there be a huge future ahead for Tanzanian football as East Africa looks to show itself off to the world, not just Africa, in 2027. Kenya, Uganda will join Tanzania in the summer of 2027 for the changes led by Patrice Motsepe. We'll see the Africa Cup of Nations moving line with other tournaments and being every 4 years, becoming a quadrennial tournament. Means a good pathway, annual under-17, biennial under-20. Just make the big occasion that much more special. Well, hugely deserved second place, but it's Senegal who will celebrate because they are once again going to lift the ultimate prize at under-17 level in Africa. A little kiss early doors as the players take in the moment and not looking to let a single second pass without fully appreciating. Certainly make sure you don't forget the names. Always hard to know who will progress. At the moment they are on cloud nine. Well, he's getting ready to lift once his teammates are all with their medals and in place. It was 2023 when Senegal became first-time winners. First time since Mali earned their first of two successive titles, 2015 and 2017. They now join an elite list, just the sixth nation to win two titles. Mali, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon and the Gambia, and now Senegal, Burkina Faso, Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt and Senegal were on one, but the young Lions of Teranga, through their penalty prowess, have brought themselves back to the pinnacle. Into 2023, they had to come from behind to beat Morocco 2-1 in regulation time. This time, it's a penalty that has seen them through. Hassan Sarr denying Mbegu and seeing the victory secured. Well, Patrice Motsepe electing to hand over the trophy in front of the big letters that spell out what Senegal now are for the second time. They're getting the full build-up. Hassan Sarr now lifts the trophy. Senegal under-17 AFCON Morocco 2026 champions, and for the second time in their history. Two times in the last three editions, in the past 3 years. They are a nation to reckon with at any age level. Well, they did it the hard way, but they showed so much grit, determination, and no little skill to have their moment of levity and celebration. Senegal, African champions, once again. Certainly won't forget the occasion here at the Moulay El Hassan Stadium. The first title won in Algeria, and once again in North Africa, this time in Morocco. And they have certainly rocked the Casbah all the way to the ultimate prize.